Wow, wow.
Welcome to DogStar.
Each week we sit down with a star of hip-hop and R&B, and this week we are sitting down with Kellan Adonis.
Thank you for having me.
Kellan, thanks for coming back to talk with us. We talked to you on the old show, Sundogs Present Local Vibes.
Yeah, a long time ago. That was September of 2021.
And we're in this nice new facility. The color scheme just fits my soul so perfectly. I don't know why I feel so relaxed in here.
Are you depressed?
No, I don't see dark colors. I don't know. I feel it's like more. I associate with nighttime, which is more calm and relaxed.
A little bit more mellow. I like
exactly.
that.
You know.
Nice. Well, we appreciate the compliment. We've got a lot of questions to ask you.
I'm here.
The format's changed a little bit. You know, we get right into the questions.
Yeah, let's dive on in.
Okay.
We were asking about your origin story last time we talked to you. But were you born in Minnesota?
No, I wasn't. I was born in Africa, actually. I was born in the capital city of Ethiopia, which is called Addis Ababa.
Okay.
So I was there for about, I'd say like a year and a half of my life.
Okay.
Then we stopped in Kenya for a little bit and then moved to America.
Okay. How old were you then?
I was about like 3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 years old-ish. 3 years old. I was in Boston for a small stint. I will never claim that place.
Right.
I don't like Boston.
Oh.
This is like me right here. Me and Boston, we have beef. Never.
Is that like a sports thing, or why don't you like Boston?
It started out as a sports thing.
Yeah.
Then I actually ended up like staying there for an extended period of time. And other than the food, I just don't like that city. It's expensive. It's kind of old looking. The weather is just not for me.
Yeah, you can't be charging extra for
Exactly.
that kind of stuff.
New York prices with like Minnesota living, which is, don't get me wrong, I love Minnesota, but it's not New York or like Miami.
So from Boston, where'd you...
We came straight to here.
Okay.
Straight from Boston to Minnesota.
Straight from Boston to Minnesota. I think we lived in like New Brighton.
Okay.
I don't even remember. Actually, yeah, man. This like just brought back a whole image of my old building. It was like a big brown building, 3 stories. It was like a little Mexican grocery store right across the street.
And how old at this point?
I was, the memories, I think my first memory was like 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an outside kid.
Right.
You probably don't, like, I was very high energy. So it's kind of different from what I am now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
What music was being played around the house?
Man, okay, around the house.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about around the house. So I lived in like a primarily Hispanic neighborhood.
Okay.
So Daddy Yankee, like, I don't know why. That's the first artist I remember as a kid. I heard Daddy Yankee, and it was Gasolina too, like really loud every morning. And I was like, I didn't like it back then, but I feel like as I started getting on, I was like, okay, I kind of like this music actually. So it was pretty entertaining. As far as the house goes, it was mostly Ethiopian music, but like my dad would also listen to some R&B. For example, he showed me Craig David's Born to Do It, which is still my favorite album to this day. I know a lot of people don't really listen to Craig David, but Craig David, he's like R&B, merengue. So what's her name? Pink Panthers? She's kind of going like viral a little bit. She had a song with Ice Spice on TikTok. Her name is Pink Panthers. It's like a UK garage type music is what they call it. I think he was kind of like the birth of it, in my opinion.
Oh,
yeah, I couldn't hear anyone before him using that style of music.
And do you know what decade or year that album came out?
I think it came out like 2002. Okay. It was in the 2000s, which is, my opinion, best era of music for all music, hip hop, rap, R&B, pop. I think the 2000s was just undefeated.
You're talking like 2000 to 2010.
Yep, okay. 2000, 2010.
Right. Hard to dispute.
You know, it felt like, as far as artists go, they had a larger than life aura around them back then. Whereas now, like, someone can do 1 billion streams and they'll just look like it won't feel like it's any different, you know? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily, because it is more relatable with people these days, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's as many icons these days.
What were like some of the music videos you remember from like 5 or 6 years old? Speaking of icons.
My old favorite music video was Nasty Girls, where it was like Biggie and who was it? I think Diddy was on there, Nelly. And it was just like a club video. And I don't know, as a kid, I really liked those club videos. Nelly was a big one. Hot in Here was a good video.
Okay.
But if I was to make a video, I would want to do something like a Jamie Foxx video for Just Like Me, where it's kind of like a little skit in a way.
Right.
I think those
Kinda
videos are always the most fun.
Where there's a little narrative.
Right. Like a little story behind it where it fits it. We might fit in with just one line in the song.
Right.
But when it matches up, you'll be like, okay, that's kind of funny, actually, you know?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Have you done any music videos for any of your songs?
No, I've not done any videos. I've conceptualized a lot of them, but I get so caught up in making new music that I never give myself enough time to actually focus on the other aspects that come with making music, like releasing music.
Right.
When did you, I guess, start writing music or maybe writing poetry, if you write?
No, I honestly never consider myself to be very good with words. But I did like melodies and how can I say this? Certain instruments and the sounds that they can produce. For example, like my favorite instruments were piano, saxophone, guitar. And it feels like the genres that they would make, I could hear those and I'd want to recreate it with like words in a way. Like, for example, like Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely? I feel like even though there's not too much going on with the instruments, his voice is its own instrument. And that's what I kind of wanted to start that way. So before I even started making like actual words, I would just hum things out, you know, mumble a little bit just to see how it would sound. I was like, I kind of like this. And then eventually I come back and put the words in.
And how old when you started to find yourself doing that?
I would say when I started producing beats, I just would mess around and do it. So I think I was 17 years old, yeah. Maybe 16, but 17 for sure. It's kind of a blur about how like steps went in my music progression.
Yeah, last time we sat down with you, and as you just mentioned, you're rocking FL Studio.
Yeah. I don't think I can ever leave. I've tried, and it's like nothing just... And they're getting so much better. Okay, listen, first of all, if anyone in the FL Studio is working, I'm like your number one spokesperson. I try to push you so much, but they are getting really good with it, especially for producers. Like this new feature they added. You can upload a song and it'll break down every song by instrument.
Whoa.
I'm not even a producer, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. Yeah, it's like, it's just really big. FL Studio is my favorite. It's so versatile. It's easy to get into, especially. Like some of these other things may be better for specific things you're trying to do, but it's like the language of learning it gets a little tricky. Whereas I feel like FL Studio, 20 minutes or you talk with someone who knows how to use it and you're good.
Yeah, definitely nice to use something that the people around you are using.
Yeah,
it
got my heart. Honestly, you guys should get it yourselves.
And then, so you're making beats. Can people find those beats like for sale online anywhere right now?
So I got 2 beats out. Well, I mean, there's my own personal YouTube channel. I'm not even gonna say it right now because it's not that serious. But I have 2 songs with Kellan Makes Beats.
Nice.
You can go on his YouTube channel. It's I think it's just Kellan Makes Beats. He's got like a little purple color as his picture, and I think if you just search up, so my producer name on there is actually Who Is Adonis. So I wanted to just change it up because I didn't want to get in that legal battle that we talked about off camera. So I just did Who Is Adonis, and if you search that up, you can probably find it. Some of my I really like Kellan Makes Beats. Might be the best producer in the city. I just want to put that out there. If you guys have any other ways, come see me, but I will defend his name.
Okay.
Well, because you've been working with him for a while, and Omega Crew was working with him. Is that how you...
That's exactly how I met him. So the story about that is, Nico, he hit me up because he wanted me on his SoundCloud album a while back. And this was the time where he was working with these 11th Ave guys. And I don't really know too much about them, but it was in the studio, St. Paul. We went in and we were supposed to do music, but I think Caleb and Nico went to go do something, and me and Kellan just sat there talking for like 2 hours about random things that I don't want to say. But after that, we started noticing that we had similar mindsets when it came to music, and it just worked perfectly.
Wow.
And the thing is, I think he's the best producer, but I feel like he's an even better like engineer than he is producer. And I think that says a lot.
What makes him a good engineer? What in your opinion what kind of engineer do you want to be in the room with?
Well, you see, I'm actually trying to be a vocal engineer myself. So what I think makes a good one is not trying to do too much and allowing things to sit in the mix rather than trying to fight for position. I feel like people try and do too much when it comes to mixing. Like they try and add rather than cut, where I feel like most things can be done with just a simple bit of tweaks rather than having to add on a lot. So I think keeping it simple. I think that's the easiest way to show the difference between a good engineer and a bad engineer.
Very cool.
But I'm not too much into this.
Well, yeah, one day you will be.
One day.
And yeah, just to plug the Kellan Makes Beats, he's on BeatStars as well.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, easy to find, great beats. I think, yeah, we were talking about when we were sitting down with you before, or no, that's totally wrong. Sorry.
I was going to ask about the formation of Exotic Melodies and when that kind of coincided with your first release, perhaps, or if that was formed even before then.
I've never been asked that. I don't even. Did we talk about this last time?
No,
it came up in our research.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So Exotic Melodies was just kind of. It was actually. It started out as like a clothing idea concept. Yeah, we wanted to just do something. It was with my cousin Hayu. He's in Toronto. We wanted to make a hoodie. And we wanted to do something with like a music note. And for some reason, exotic melodies came into my head. And I was like, you know what, let's go with it. And then whenever I was releasing music, it had like label names. So I was like, I feel like this will be perfect to put it in. But we've never really gone through with it.
Oh, like solidified.
Yeah, we've never gone through with it. And I feel like this might be my next step, potentially.
Just to kind of legitimize everything?
Exactly. Perfect way to put it.
Interesting. When we were talking with you before, you were, using YouTube beats. You were using, anything that you could really, really vibe with. Really, is that
that is still the case?
That's excellent.
That is still the case. I still haven't, and this is no disrespect to anybody. I just haven't found a producer in Minnesota that can give me the vibes that I'm really looking for. There is one, and
it's not Kellan Makes Beats,
and that's not Kellan Makes Beats. His name is Jay Molly, and I found him completely separately. I didn't even know he was from Minnesota until someone else told me. So there's him. He does like Afro beats, but other than that, I haven't found just someone I can really gel with. Whereas on YouTube, when you do enough searching for years, like I have since high school, just been looking for producers, you'll find a handful that you can really vibe with. And just a little note for other artists: if you find somebody on YouTube that you really like, most of these guys are on other social media platforms, Instagram. Go follow them, hit them up, see how, have a conversation. You never know what it can lead to.
That's nice. And you've had some success with your, just like meeting people who don't live in Minnesota through YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't met them in real life, but I've talked with a few of my favorite producers. And there was one time where it was two of them. One of them was named Drop It Like Mellow, who was actually someone I use frequently. I check his beats every day. I have his notifications on YouTube. I do not miss a beat by him. And there's another guy named AJ. And they ended up making a beat together.
What?
And I was like, wow, it's kind of fun seeing people that you didn't think knew each other just come together, work, make a great beat. And then it's like, in a way, I'm getting kind of myself involved where it is all online, but now I've taken it a step further by reaching out to them, having conversations. And now we're pretty cool, actually, with those two specifically.
Are they from outside the United States?
Yeah. So I think Mello's from the UK, actually.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure AJ, I think he's from the UK too, actually. Those two are both from the UK.
I mean, I smell a UK tour coming up.
No, well, see, the thing that you say that is I've actually really been trying to find a UK artist to work with. Someone, because they use more of that 2000s R&B hip hop, 50 Cent, Timbaland vibes over there a lot more than we do over here. And I don't know, I just really like their flows and their melodies and the way they carry themselves. And it just, I think my music would do a lot better over there than it would in Minnesota. So that's something that I'm actively looking for.
That's awesome.
That's awesome to hear. You were saying Drop It Like Mellow is somebody you're working with on maybe something in the future as well.
Yeah. Future.
A little bit future as well. Yeah, that's super exciting about that for sure. Yeah, we can save that for towards the end a little more. You were saying Good Kid, Mad City was like a big influence last time we talked to you on like when rap started turning your head. And
Yep. Yeah, and I was just talking about what was it, The Recipe? I was just talking with my friends the other day about how The Recipe was like one. I think it might be in my top 5 of all time. just that song. I don't know. And that goes back to what I was saying about like icons and the aura it had. That album doesn't feel like it's a part of life. It feels like it's just on a different level. Because when you listen to it, it's kind of an escape in a way. And albums don't do that no more. Even Drake. Like his last album, it was good, don't get me wrong, but when I listened to it, I didn't feel like I was somewhere else where I felt like I used to. And I think that's what's missing.
You had spoken again last time we chatted with you about, you got projects in your mind kind of already written or already recorded. You may or may not release those, but were those, more of a concept album versus just a collection of singles?
Nope, they were definitely a collection of singles for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, most of them. So we can just talk about this now, but Kellan vs. Adonis, which is ending up turning into my new EP, Legend Has It. Yeah.
Oh, what?
So I wanted to showcase my two main styles, which is more of like an Afro type and then more of like a hip hop R&B type. And in a way, that's kind of how my names were made. Like when I went by the name Adonis, I was really only doing hip hop and rap. And then when I switched to Kellan, it kind of just switched straight over to Afro beats. But then as time kind of kept going by and I decided to put the names back together, I was like, they're both me. So I wanted to go do it Kellan vs. Adonis because that was going to be the prelude to my album that just never came out. But I feel like Legend Has It is going to tell the story of who I am while showcasing my two sides of music.
That'll be great then. So it's the reiteration of what Kellan versus Adonis would have been is what we can expect from you in the future.
Exactly.
That's the journey. Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of Kellan versus Adonis, it's Kellan and Adonis now.
That's so exciting.
That's really, it sounds like we had these interviews timed out perfectly to really capture the switch and transition and kind of evolution of that whole idea. That's so...
Couldn't have been better.
That's sweet. Yeah, the last time you sat down with us, you brought Pressure. I don't know if that was the final name for that. And,
yes, it was.
Type.
Type, yeah. Pressure, I actually re-recorded. I ended up re-recording because so after with you guys, I think I might have done one or two more shows. I took kind of a break from music. I just didn't feel inspired too much.
I'm going to cut you off right there.
Sorry.
We're going to tease him. We got to take a break in about 20 seconds. We're going to talk more about why he took a hiatus.
Sounds good.
And talk more about this upcoming project as well.
Yeah, to find the music that he's got out right now, you can search for Kellan and look for his face on Spotify or iTunes or anything like that. You can follow him at Kellan Adonis. And then if you're watching this in 2024 at all, you can look for Kellan Adonis on the platforms.
You can follow us at DogStar Podcast. We'll be right back.
Wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're sitting down with Kellan Adonis. Kellan.
We just, we're getting a little bit of your backstory, filling in the gaps from the last time we talked with you. We got to a point where you said it was maybe after the last interview we did with you, you took a break for a little bit, at least from performing
from
music
in general.
Not writing.
The only thing I was doing was listening to beats on YouTube. I don't know why, but I just got into like this really bad mental state where I was just like, I'm not making good music anymore. And I don't know if that was even true, but it just felt like everything I was making, I was not enjoying. So I just kind of took a break from it for a while, maybe like 7-8 months, long break. Then I don't remember exactly why, but one day I just started recording again and it felt like my voice had gotten a lot better. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like I was performing all my songs better. It felt like I could hold a note longer. And the melodies were just sparking again. So I don't know if I just refound my love for making music again or if I definitely got better too. Because if you compare the song that I sent you guys last time and the song that I sent you this time, it's like almost night and day, for really being honest. But that's also my curse. And that's the reason why I don't draw music. I go back and listen to my old songs and I like the way it sounds, like in theory, but the way it's executed, I hate it. So whenever I keep getting better and better, I'm like, there's always another better. And that's where I need to find a balance.
Interesting. Yeah, not being too hard on yourself. I mean, I would hate to see another hiatus. I mean, don't want to stop the trajectory too much.
Exactly. I'm on a kind of like a making music hiatus right now, but I'm still like trying to learn how to engineer. I'm still learning how to market myself better. So still in music, just not making as much.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. What have you been learning about? Well, I guess we should knock some of these things off the timeline. So you're on your Spotify. The first song I could find was Somebody, and that was in 2019, June 2019.
Yeah.
That was a single. Was there the more on the SoundCloud dig?
I believe it was supposed to be the first track off of Girls Love Count.
Yes, it was. It was supposed to be the first track. And that's the song everyone knows me for.
Interesting.
Which is kind of funny because even though it's not my most played song, people just every time, like, especially like, I wouldn't say like it's my closest friends, but like people I'm cordial with, they just come up and start singing that I need somebody. I'm like, I have other songs, you know that, right?
Was that you performed that at the college you were going to a couple times?
Yeah, I performed at that college. I performed at the U of M as well with a lot more people. That was a little wild. It was a lot of people that night, but I've performed that one quite a bit. I don't even want to perform it anymore because I feel like people are expecting it. And I'm just being petty.
You gotta give the people what they want.
I'm like, it's not even, because the thing is, it's not my favorite song of mine. So I feel like I might be taking that to heart a little bit. So,
but you said maybe you would perform it a lot better nowadays than 2-3 years ago.
You know, I definitely would perform it a lot better right now.
Yeah, you definitely got to keep that in your back pocket, especially if it's people's favorite. It made me want to ask you, and sorry if this is too personal, how'd that biology degree go?
I'm not done yet. We still got
still going.
We're looking to graduate in the spring.
Hey,
that's huge.
We're still gonna graduate.
That's awesome.
Timeline was a little different, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Hey,
don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, we're still doing good. Biology's funny though, because no one still guessed that about me to this day.
You're like, yes, the biology nerd.
Yeah, I tell them biology. They're like,
Afrobeats
wow, so you're
guy.
really smart. And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
And again, does that come from like family pressure? Just make sure you're educated, make sure you got a good career.
Yeah, that's like I don't even want to say Ethiopian. That's just an African thing in general. You are not going to find a lot of African, like first generation. I wouldn't consider myself first generation because I was born in Africa, but most like first generation African American people whose parents were immigrants, they will say the same thing. Academics over anything. So, but I agree. I'm glad that it gave me that foundation because I think going to school, if you don't have exactly, you know what you want to do, it's always great to have a degree.
That is true. Yeah, the time would go by either way, whether you're getting that degree or not.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a specific other path.
Exactly. But if you know what you want to do, then I'm not going to sit here and say college is necessary. We've seen way too many people do well without it.
The second track we could find was a feature, and that was off the formerly mentioned Omega Cruise, Beyond the Blessings, I believe is the project. And you were on the 8th track, Beyonce.
Yeah, that was the night. Well, not the night, but we recorded that with Colin.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That, and he produced that song too, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was funny. I forgot who the other guy on the song's name was. He used to be friends with Nico. They used to be like in the crew.
Right.
9 and no more. That song.
I always thought it was his brother. Don't think it was his brother.
It's not his brother.
No.
It's not his brother. I don't even know how that song came to be. I think I'm trying to think. I don't remember exactly why we even met up, why we decided to make that song, how it even came to be. It just happened.
Because you didn't like go to school with any of them or anything.
I went to high school with Nico.
Oh, okay.
But like senior year, I think it was junior year where we was really close, and then senior year, not too much, and then I think it was first year of college we got back in touch.
Whoa.
Randomly too.
Interesting. Through music or for music?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just ran into his project on Spotify or SoundCloud, and I was like, hey man, great music. And that's just how it went.
After that, we found Icky Vicky, single from March of 2020.
Yep, that was like right around lockdown happened.
Yeah,
that song was released completely out of boredom. It was I remember I was walking to my friend Quentin's house, and it was lockdown. There was no one, like, this was around right at the beginning of lockdown when people still kind of weren't taking it too serious. I was kind of still going around. Went over there. I was like, He's like, you should just drop a song. He was saying a lot of words I'm not gonna say on here, but he's basically like, you need to drop a song now. It's like, all right, do it. And then it happened to be my most played song actually by a great amount.
Interesting. I mean, what percentage of it do you think it's Fairly Odd Parents fans?
Honestly, that would be great. And I wanted to do a Fairly Odd Parents music video. So if there's any animators, that would probably be the only music video I'd be willing to do right now.
Well, who did the album artwork?
I found that on YouTube or on Google.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
is a frame?
Yeah, it's not even me.
Oh,
it was just like a random. It might actually be what's that guy's name? He made the Timmy Designer. That might be Designer.
Okay.
So it just kind of happens to be lucky that it kind of looked like me in a way.
That's nice. Yeah, that's
completely random.
Nothing wrong with that. And then is Dark Diva or Dark Diva the next song that came out?
That was the next song that came out, and that's a song. Honestly, all the songs that are out right now, I plan on taking down. Because I've redone most of them. And they all sound much better.
Interesting.
They've been mixed the way that I conceptualized when I first made the song, but just didn't have the knowledge to do it. So I'm going to take them down for a small little bit. I think whenever this next EP comes out, since I'm going by the name Kellan Adonis, and DistroKid is just being really annoying right now. So I'm just going to take those songs down and then re-upload them under my new name, Kellan Adonis.
So you're talking Shooters as well coming down?
Mm-hmm. Shooters. That song was not my best. I think I could have done a little bit better on that song. That song I might remix just completely because I still like the beat. I still like the melodies.
Yeah,
I think it could have been delivered better.
For sure.
Yeah, it could be delivered a little bit better.
Interesting. At what point would you take a track down and not re-release it? None of them?
I don't think I'd ever do that because I second guess myself about 65 times.
What is that like though? So it's like at some point you have to at least think for a second that this is good enough to release.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that a lot.
So you're like, oh, this is ready.
Yep.
And then you like maybe it's 3 days away before you have the realization. But like, what's that like? Are you listening to it on Spotify and then you're like, this needs to be redone? Or
it doesn't
like,
even, for the most part, it doesn't even get there. So most of the time, it doesn't even get there because I would say my first few songs I did kind of release just because I felt like I had to and I didn't want people to forget me. But now I'll make a song, like a rough draft, then I'll listen to that. Then I'll redo it. Keep listening to it. And then I don't even know if I feel like I think it could be better if I'm getting bored of the song at this point. So there's just so many second guessings. And if months later, I'm still in the great mindset, then I'll think about releasing it. Where I've thought about releasing a lot of things, but it just never comes to fruition.
Interesting. Do you think your work ethic or your creative output is changing to be a bit more, or I guess a bit less critical?
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. That's good.
And I think taking a step back from making as much music as I did is also helping.
It's not feeling as overwhelmed? Or?
Not as overwhelmed. I feel like inspired is the problem. I didn't want to drop all the music because I wanted to work on making other music. That was my problem. And I was so picky about who I would want to work with, like in terms of engineering, that I never wanted to release anything because it didn't sound the way I wanted to. And I found Kellan and then lost them in a way. So now that I can mix my own stuff the way I like it, that's why I feel like I'm ready to be in a place where I can just keep dropping consistently, let me say that.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, what have you been doing? Well, I guess there's
we got
HBC, another single.
April 2021.
That's another song that's gonna get remade. Okay. Well, not remade. Well, yeah, remade.
Exactly.
Remade. Yeah, that was one of my better ones actually. I did really like that one. Very sad. And it had nothing to do with my life.
Interesting.
That was a random story.
Wow.
Had nothing to do with me. I'm gonna be completely honest right here.
I mean, we're getting the inside
scoop. But had you like heard a similar story, or like was it
a
just like
friend,
totally?
Yeah, it might have been something of the source that just got put in the back of my mind, and I don't know where the origin came from. And I do that quite a bit, and it usually happens when like I'll try a different genre of music, and that one it just kind of came out that day. It flowed so well that I just kept going.
That's
Nice.
very interesting to hear.
No.
I mean, you said earlier, you never really considered yourself a writer. You're coming up with narratives like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like day of or week of. That's impressive.
I can make stories. Let me say that. Maybe not poetry, but I feel like I'm good at making stories.
Yeah. Have you ever written any short stories or done creative writing stuff?
Yes, I have. Okay, so 2 things. In middle school, I think it was like 6th grade. It was in summer school. We were like making plays, and I ended up writing a play called Little Red Riding in the Hood. It was my take on Little Red Riding Hood. And instead of being like a really nice girl, she was just a menace, robbing everybody. So, and the thing is, I never got to see it because I had to go to Canada. So I never got to see that on the big stage.
Whoa, but you wrote it.
Yeah.
Do you still have at least a copy of it on paper?
Oh, no, there was no paper copies. This was all improvisation. It was like we had the story and then everyone just kind of did. We were the kids. No one remember anything.
I mean, so if you do remember the story, maybe make it for an older audience.
Hey.
Maybe rewrite it.
20th Century Fox. Don't steal my idea. Just break me off a little bit. We'll come together.
After that, we got another Nico collaboration, Come Down.
Yeah.
That's in July of 2021. Middle of the summer.
Nico's like the only person that can actually get me to make songs come out.
What do you mean?
Because my last 3 songs that have come out have been features for him.
I suppose.
So there was Come Down, and then there was another one,
Easy Way.
And then we have like 2 more of his that I'm featured on that are still set to come out. And then we got a bunch of mine. So it feels like if there's a song and Nico's on it, there's a better chance of it coming out than if there's a song and he's not on it.
Interesting. What do you attribute that to?
He's got work ethic. He's just always so dedicated and so driven, way more focused than I am.
But does he got some sort of magic? Like, because when you're collaborating with people, it doesn't matter how much of work ethic one person has. It's got to kind of spread to the other members of...
He might just have some magic because it feels like when he sends me something over, except for like the rare occasions, like 1 or 2 times, I'll be done with it within a few days without even listening to it too much. I don't know what it is. I think he's got like kind of like that Drake aspect to where he'll send out music to people he thinks can do well on it, so it won't like be a lot for me to handle. Let me say
Right.
Where I think a lot of people make that mistake trying to fit people on songs that shouldn't be together just for the sake of like clout or I don't know what it is, but some people take more consideration to these things.
How would you describe the collaborations with Solo Kai?
Solo Kai.
That might not be you either.
I don't think I don't know her album.
Tell Me What It Is, the 6th track of Solo Kai's Astronaut Kid album.
That's not me. Why have I feel like I heard that though?
It's on your Spotify. I apologize.
I might listen to that today.
No, honestly, we might have to, because I feel like I might have heard that too. Because maybe I did go into my own page and I seen that.
Interesting. I guess how difficult would that be to get it removed? Especially with the rebrand, probably not too
bad. Yeah. Well, I don't know how it is, and this is why I'm leaving them. But DistroKid is just like, they're very affordable, and this is a distributor. They're affordable, but they don't get back to you very much.
Yeah, they probably don't have any employees over there. It's probably all just a website.
Maybe that's why it's cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm gonna be changing over to TuneCore for my distribution.
Have any of your other contemporaries found luck with TuneCore? Or
I've actually never spoken to anyone that uses TuneCore. Most people have like given out United Masters a try, but other than that, everyone else I know is on DistroKid. Just because it's cheap.
Right.
Have you learned or like mastered any of like the music industry stuff that artists are always trying to learn, like whether these distributors are for like mechanical licensing or for just the digital streams or for like physical copies or performing it live?
I'm just now like really scratching the surface on that stuff as a whole. I knew a little bit about distribution, but now I'm trying to look into publishing and sync licensing. There's just so much that I don't know. And then there's so much of things that I don't know that I don't even know, to where it's like the hill is, I can't even see where it ends. It looks like a skyscraper at this point.
Granted, financial aspect would be one thing, but at what point would you want to bring someone on the team, or a team of people to handle that clerical stuff just so you can focus on the artistry? Or do you think it's interesting enough at this point in your career where you can save that money and kind of quench your thirst for knowledge with learning about it yourself?
Both, actually. So one, I do like that because if you have a base foundation of knowledge, then you'll understand what you want more, and you'll know how to talk to people in that like lane a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I do want to learn a little bit, but if my financials can handle it, I would just hire everybody.
Right.
But right now I'm just looking for people who I can really like vibe with in a way where it's the same mindset. If I can find that, then I would be willing to pay money. But I haven't found anyone like that personally.
No, I really respect you for being patient and waiting it out versus trying to rush art. It seems kind of counterintuitive.
Man, don't say that around my friends.
Uh-oh.
I've gotten so many knee-breaking threats.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a lot of people have been waiting. I get memes every day about not making music because I say I'm going to, like, behind the scenes, I tell my friends all the time I'm going to drop something. All the time for like the last 3 years. And now they're just like, it's not. They don't even believe me anymore when I say it.
Well, we're going to hear more about what's on the horizon here after the second break. Again, you can follow us at DogStar Podcast.
Follow Kellan Adonis on everything. Go dig for his Local Vibes interview if you want. We'll be right back. Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar.
We are sitting down with Kellan, of course.
Or Kellan Adonis, as you may currently know him.
Exactly. And just rip through the Spotify history.
The discography.
The discography, exactly. I've been working a lot with Nico. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the show for sure. Can check out his, and then you brought a track today.
Yes, I did.
That's nowhere on Spotify. There's nowhere anywhere right now.
Nope. On my Instagram, it's a short clip. So if you want to listen to like 20 seconds of it, other than on here, then you're gonna have to go to my Instagram.
So it's all making sense now because the rumor has it in all bold in all these posts. That's maybe something that means something a little more.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's gonna be the first. Well, it's not gonna be the first song, but it's gonna be a single that comes out before my EP. But it's not. It's just gonna come out as a single, but it will also be on the EP. I don't know why. I just feel like this song has made it through all the phases of me trying to not drop it.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the song that's going to come out. I love every aspect of it. The story actually is about myself for once. I don't want to talk too much about that, but if you listen to it, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you know me, you might get a little laugh out of it, actually.
Interesting. So, and I mean, you are under oath. No, I'm kidding. But you're holding yourself accountable by saying this right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I am. And that's probably why I am saying it too. But no, this is for sure coming out. And the EP, I don't think it's going to be January, but beginning of February at the latest.
That's so exciting.
At the latest.
That's really exciting.
It's going to be the beginning, yeah.
And your first extended project.
Yeah, honestly, because I still don't believe dropping an album at my point in my career is what I want to do, because I just don't think people have the attention spans to listen to a full project, especially if it's rather than a collection of singles, especially if it's like a story in a way.
Right.
People do not have that attention span yet.
So you don't plan on dropping a 32-track album anytime soon?
I mean, if Chris Brown wants to put me on with his like technique on how he can do it, maybe, but 32 songs, never.
But maybe not in 2024.
Yeah, let's see how how I want to say this. The era changes. Maybe in 2030, 30-song album is the way to go.
Right.
And
you never know.
Is there an official title for the EP yet that you care to reveal? If you don't want to.
Yes, it is. If you've been keeping up with my posts, it's been pretty much screaming at you. It's called Legend Has It. So it's most of them are about me, and it's kind of like a story in a way, a book of stories. Like if you've ever had those chapter books, and it's like you read them, and each chapter would be something different. Each song is going to be something different. And then it's also going to take in the two styles of my music.
Oh, Kellan versus Adonis.
There you go.
Style that you were talking about.
Exactly.
So it's got the rap, hip hop style, and then also the Afrobeat.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
ever doing like the ASAP Rocky, like on the beat, doing the two different voices on the same song?
I don't think I am. I don't know if
Okay.
I have that yet. We might test around.
Or like the T.I. talking to himself back and forth on the project.
That's that.
Even in the skits, like you know, like
That's like I don't know if I have that. When you say that, it reminds me of Childish Gambino when he had that freestyle. And mid freestyle, he just starts having a conversation with the interviewer, and then flows it right back into the freestyle. I'm like, wow, I don't know if I could ever do that. My mind doesn't really work with words too well.
Yeah, sorry if this throws us off track to finish on time, but you were talking about melodies, like coming up with melodies before you come up with lyrics, or like what does that even look like? So you're finding a YouTube beat, and then like what happens? How do you capture that idea?
So I'll just sit there and I'll listen to it, and honestly, I run through so many videos. If something doesn't catch me within the first 5 seconds, I'm probably switching. So I probably left out so many great beats I just didn't give the chance. But when something comes in, there will be just random melodies playing in my head.
Whoa.
And I'll have my mic set up. I'll have my FL set up where I can just hum things out as the song is playing. And if something clicks, I'll just download the beat and I'll just hum out the whole song. And then I'll be like, I like this part, I like this part. Then I'll structure out the song with melodies, and then I'll come back with lyrics.
Holy moly.
But I will say for this song, Run It Back, it didn't work that way. The whole first half of the song just came to me. Just sitting there listening to it. It's like, yes, she will. I was like, for the first time, the words kind of came into my head. And I think that's when I knew that song would be like my favorite song personally of myself.
Wow. You had mentioned, storybooks or perhaps chapter books. Were you a fan of any book series as a child or currently?
Of course, as a kid. What I liked Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Captain Underpants.
Hey.
The Lightning Thief series. Those were really the only ones that I liked, and it kind of progressed. It was Captain Underpants first, then Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Lightning Thief. And then I kind of stopped reading after that.
Okay, you're not reading anything currently. No recommendations for
no I mean, I tried reading the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, okay.
But that book made me feel evil.
Yep.
So I was like, let me stop this before I turn into a villain after one minor inconvenience in my life happens. So I just kind of put it away.
There you go. Some stuff's a little too powerful.
Like I don't know if you guys have given it a chance.
I've read through like the bullet point list, and it's just
You're
like,
oh my God.
I'm not trying to take over the world. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
They actually use evidence from like conquerors, so you're kind of like, what's going on here? But yeah.
It's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
that
would be a
whole
whole
other
nother
podcast.
So yeah, back to music stuff. So you're dropping this project.
Yeah.
You're saying February at the latest.
At the late, might be a Valentine's special.
What's actually done? What still needs to be done?
All the songs are done. All
Like
the songs
done.
Done. All the
To
songs.
your specifications, all mastered, ready to go.
Yep, but it was on my computer that's messed up right now.
Uh-oh.
So we need to get that fixed, which thankfully it is possible. It's just going to cost a little bit. But we're going to get that back, finish that up. And now I'm just in the mode of trying to get a lot of short form content for TikTok and Instagram, just as a way of promoting. Because as much as I would like to do a video, there's just not too big of a market unless you already have a big enough fan base. So I'm trying to build fans right now.
That's a smart strategy.
Yeah. What are some of the ways to do that? Is it like just like the social media marketing kind of?
So basically right now what I did with my friend Carter, who takes most of my pictures, and he took the picture of the EP art that I sent you guys, that picture of me.
Oh, sick.
We also took a bunch of, not a bunch, we took like 3 videos of me performing 3 different songs all the way through from different angles. So we're just going to chop those up, put them together, and you can make like 5, 6 videos out of each.
Yeah,
which is
that's
a week's
smart.
worth of content. So just things like that.
I was going to ask, Carter didn't take the HBC photo, did he?
No, he didn't. That was my friend Galasa.
Okay.
Yeah. That was before I even knew Carter. We used to work at a movie theater, but I never knew he did photography.
Oh,
Then,
what?
Yeah. Then one day I saw him taking pictures at his church, and I was like, Carter, he's like, yeah, man, I did this. He's like, you want to try it out with me? He's like, sure. So I had my show, which is funny too, because that was right around the time where I talked to you guys about it. You guys, we promoted that show the last time I was talking to you guys. It was with Sem Hyena.
Oh, yeah.
It's called F Wednesdays.
Right.
And he took the pictures there, and it turned out so great. I was like, yeah, Carter, you like need to get paid to do this. So we got the second shoot done. I got all the pictures. I posted a few of them, but as we get closer to release day, more and more of that's going to come out.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I mean, and it sounds like it's a strategic rollout, a strategic, the whole laying it out for the public to kind of consume little pieces of it at a time.
Just making it easier.
Yeah.
More digestible in a way.
Exactly.
And then are you going to do, like you were talking about doing on the Kellan versus Adonis, where it was like first half Kellan, second half Adonis? Is it going to be the same?
It is going to be the same. I don't know which half is going to be which, but there is going to be a split. And honestly, like we talked over that interlude idea before the show, of having like a fairy tale narrator, with a medieval accent. I really like that idea, so I'm probably stealing that right here.
Maybe a little Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream, William Shakespeare. Ooh, kind of a deviant narrator throughout the whole play.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad. Or the Metro Boomin, 21 Savage has got the narrator going.
Yep.
Heroes and villains. It's pretty good.
I like the idea.
Narrator is a powerful technique. I could see it going well because you said it's legend has it, and your favorite book series growing up is the Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. That's very legendary characters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, who knows? Might do a Percy Jackson music video if this blows up.
Oh,
that'd be fun.
Any music video that takes place on or in Mount Olympus, that would be cool.
Just have me in like one of those robes.
Yeah.
With the little Julius Caesar getting fed grapes.
That'd be sick. That would be sick.
It's doable. It's definitely doable. What's going to be your strategy for what would it take for you to make a music video for a song? Or like what's the benchmark? Or
I think if I can get 500,000 streams on Spotify, or especially if I can get it on YouTube, then 100%. But if I can get like 500,000 streams on Spotify, then I would feel like the song has enough traction to warrant a video.
Right.
That's what I think.
No, I like that strategy. I like the strategy.
It's a strong bar. You were also talking about maybe getting the performance ball rolling a little bit here now that the new body of work's coming out.
So I'm trying to develop myself into the best performer I can be. So I am going to take some time after the release, obviously. I want to take some time just to work on performing specifically. And if the opportunity arises, I'm going to come up. But I really don't want to go to like some of these really small open mics anymore.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like I'm benefiting from it. Like, as I'm trying to get better, I might go to them. But when I feel like I'm trying to grow as an artist and grow my fan base, that's kind of why I stepped back. It just felt like I was in the circle, seeing the same people, same artists. Wasn't changing too much.
Right. You gotta shake things up
a little bit. So who knows? Maybe go somewhere else. Toronto's a big place of mine that I'm trying to kind of break into.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Are there any cities around the world that you find in your YouTube or Spotify analytics that kind of surprise you?
Yeah, Singapore.
Whoa.
That was very random. I don't know why that was like my third highest city. And then one was like Frankfurt, Germany was in the top 5. So I was like, kind of random.
But again, perhaps possible tour dates or cities to visit when there's an open mic in that city.
Oh,
and then you could
100%.
That'd be fun.
If I can figure out how to find these things, I would go all the time.
You would we only got 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Right. You had mentioned earlier, that Run It Back was semi-autobiographical.
Yep.
When would you play this song? During your week or during your day? If it was in your playlist,
During the week, whenever, honestly. But I feel like it's more of after work, when it's nighttime. I feel like most of my music is more of nighttime-y, whether it's by yourself cruising or in a club. So probably nighttime by yourself cruise. Well, don't do it cruising because it might be a little sad to remind you of somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
And then in regards to this upcoming project, how long are you kind of gonna hype that until you get 500,000 streams on something, or because I know I'm sure have something else in the wheelhouse.
I do. I'm gonna push it hard for a month.
Okay.
And then see where it goes from there.
Okay.
Because if it, like, I would want it to do better, so I can push this until the summer.
Yeah.
Because I have a song ready for next summer, and it would just transition perfectly. But if not, we'll act accordingly.
Well, we can't thank you again for not only sitting down with us, but for continuing on your musical journey. It's very inspirational, us as fans, us as artists.
Of course. And I love the radio show before. This podcast is great. The space is amazing. And I just want to thank you guys for having this platform for artists like us.
Hey,
that means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much for saying something. Remember, you can follow Kellan at Kellan Adonis everywhere. 2024, you can look him up as Kellan Adonis. Mm-hmm. Right now, just Kellan is where you can sneak around and find the music that he hasn't deleted yet.
This is Run It Back off the upcoming project Legend Has It. Follow us at DogStar Podcast. Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Yeah. 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 Cause she was bad, yeah, she was a 10. And I've been fumbling badly since I been him. And it's a curse, and I don't want it. Cause the past one hit me like the last one. I'm out. Right, left, 10 seconds for the count. When you left, I was really worn out. It was taking everything to not call you back. So hit me up, baby, we should run it back. So baby girl, run it back, yeah. Run it back, baby girl, run it back, yeah. Let's double back, baby girl, run it back, yeah. Let's run it back, baby girl, run it back. We can double back. And I've been wildin' all alone. I ain't wanna leave the house. I ain't wanna talk nothing with nobody I don't know. The mama had me messed up, yeah. My friends never see me for months at a time. I really feel bad, yeah, I know it's not a crime. I should've listened more, maybe taken their advice. It's hard to feel nothing when you empty up inside. My girl, you're running in my thoughts, my world. Yeah. My girl, counting all the days I'm missing you, babe. Cause she was bad, yeah, she was a 10. And I've been fumbling badly since I been him. And it's a curse, and I don't want it. Cause the past one hit me like the last one. I'm out. Oh, can't forget your shorty. Always daydreaming about you, girl. You're messing with my thoughts. Yeah, I don't know if I can move on. So baby girl, run it back, yeah. Run it back, baby girl, run it back, yeah. Let's double back, baby girl, run it back, yeah. Let's run it back, baby girl, run it back. We can run it back. She likes me back again. I see how you been. I've been peeping your stories, you looking magnificent. You was too good for me, even way back then. You saw something inside me, then baby, please look again. Please look again, don't wanna be friends. If you find another man, then it's up for him. Tell me you don't love me, say it face to face. Only way you gonna get rid of me. I know you don't even know where your heart really lies. Don't listen to the mind, listen to your soul. Cause it shows what you really need. Hoping that it's me. Cause she was bad, yeah, she was a 10. And I've been fumbling badly since I was just a young G. Might be a part of me cause this ain't the first time. For once I really cared, put them lights all in the air. Who that? Yeah, shawty is a 10. Irreplaceable, no end to her beauty. She was perfect, need a genie for a chance. Cause she was bad, and she was a 10. And I've been fumbling badly since I been him. And it's a curse, and I don't want it. Cause the past one, I always thought was the last one. Yeah.